This module will cover how to use the tech and resources for your online reading sessions. This module will cover how online sessions are structured, accessing the Doorstep Library dashboard, using the dashboard to communicate with your project leader, and hosting your sessions with the families via Zoom. So here is what you need to do before each online reading session starts. Planning your reading sessions includes thinking about the family you are going to read with and checking the notes from the previous session on the dashboard. Your main task before the session starts is to choose which books you would like to read during the session and to make sure that these books are ready to use once the session starts. You may need to log into a website or download specific ebooks. If families are late, you'll call them to remind them of the session within 5 minutes of the session start time. If they do not turn up, please let your project leader know. All of the online sessions will take place via your dashboard. This is where we securely store the family's information and where you can access the Zoom links to join your sessions for the week. You use the dashboard to log in every week, access information about the families, find the Zoom links for your reading sessions, message the families, contact your project leader, and find emergency contact numbers. Family information for your sessions will be available from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. on the day of your session, and you will start volunteering at 4:30, so you have time to prepare earlier if you want to. Now we'll take a tour of the dashboard and show you how to use it. Here is the Doorstep Library dashboard main page. This training does not represent real family identities, details, and addresses. So here you can find the families that you're scheduled to read with that day, the family ID number here, which is in the 4th column, families information and their profiles, which says view family information and record visit for post-session notes. You will access this from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. There are 2 ways that you can communicate with your project leader if you need support during your reading sessions. Firstly is by phone for anything urgent. For example, the Zoom link isn't working, or if your volunteer partner has dropped off the call or not turned up. Secondly is messaging through the dashboard here. For example, if you have a question about book gifting for a family's book if it hasn't arrived, or your project leader might message you and your volunteer partner about something you put in the notes the week before. For anything urgent, call your project leader directly rather than messaging through the dashboard. And here is where you save the post-session notes. So here you can record the visit outcome, so what happened during the session, the child that you read with, which you select from the drop-down here, and parental engagement. Once these notes have been saved, you click the pink Save button at the top, and here is where you access the Zoom link to join the reading session. So you will click the Launch Zoom meeting and it will take you straight to the family link. Now we've gone through the dashboard, we'll show you how to start the reading sessions. As mentioned, we use Zoom for the families to join the session. When you join the session link for the first family, your volunteer partner will join you on the call. You can't start the reading session until both volunteer partners are on the call under any circumstances. When the family arrives, they will go into the waiting room, and you can view the waiting room by clicking this Participants button here. Before you admit the family, in the Participants tab, hover over your name and click Rename. Change it so that is your first name only. Next to your name, it should say Host in brackets. Check this with your partner. You can make your partner a co-host by hovering over their name, clicking More, and then Make Co-host. Lastly, take a look at the time and agree the end time for the session with your partner. Then click Admit here, and the family will join the session. If someone appears in the waiting room that you were not expecting, click Remove. If this does happen, please let your project leader know after your session. If someone is admitted by accident, hover over their name, click the More button, and click Remove. When you join, check here to make sure that your audio and video is on. You can see in this example on the screen that I have my video off and audio on. I would just click that Start Video button to turn my camera on. It's also nice to use the Reactions button. If a child reads a page really well or spells out a word, you can use the thumbs up or confetti as seen here. To end a meeting, if the parent is not present, ask the child to quickly get their parent so you can say bye and end the session by clicking the red button here. Once you have ended the session, go back to your browser where you were signed into the Doorstep library database to continue with your next session. After the reading sessions, it's important to spend time considering how the sessions went. This will help you plan for the following week. One of the expectations of the online reading volunteer role is to take notes about what happened in each session by completing the post-session records. We will be asking you to record notes including which children were engaged, what worked well or not so well, and to ask yourselves why this was the case. It's really important to have detailed notes to help sessions run smoothly. These notes are important for your project leader to monitor how the sessions are going. Contact your project leader directly if any families need tech support, specific resources, or whether you as volunteers need help with any issues. Safeguarding concerns are reported separately from the session notes, and we'll explain in the safeguarding module how to let us know about any safeguarding concerns that you may have about families. If the family has any tech problems, such as trouble with joining the session or with their microphone, see if you can help them out over the phone. We have created a Zoom troubleshooting guide that will also be shared with you. This should take you through the most common problems and how to address them. We will send this guide to you ahead of your first session. Don't worry if most of the first session with the family is taken up with trying to connect to the Zoom call. It might take some time to get set up and to say hello, and maybe there won't be a lot of time left over for reading that week. When they do join, make the most of the rest of your reading session, but it's important to stick to the scheduled time and ensure you don't go over. If there are repeated tech issues with one of your families, please inform your project leader who might be able to provide support. And here are some key rules to remember for your sessions. These are really important procedures that help keep both you and our families safe whilst you're volunteering. Your mobile phone should be charged enough for the length of your session, on loud with notifications turned on, and please make sure that you've saved your project leader's phone number, safeguarding team's phone number, families' anonymized phone numbers in case they call you outside of reading sessions, as you are not in contact with families outside sessions. You must not answer any calls or texts and immediately inform your project leader. You should always answer your phone if your project leader calls you. They will always call you for something urgent. Please don't ever answer personal calls whilst you're with a family. Just ignore the call. If it is a personal emergency, you and your volunteer partner will need to finish the session early that day. Doorstep Library aims to build good relationships with the families we read with, and here are the ways that volunteers can maintain this. It is rare that we come across conflict with families, but it is important that you are equipped as volunteers to handle a situation if it arises. Steer away from offering something that you or Doorstep Library can't deliver, as it could cause disappointment in the future. Avoid using labeling language, which may cause offense and could damage Doorstep Library's reputation. Always have an open and non-judgmental approach to conversations with families during your sessions. This is a very unlikely situation, but nonetheless, you need to know what to do if you ever find yourself in a threatening situation. If it does happen, we advise you to stay calm and not engage. Don't be drawn into an argument, as this can often make the situation worse, but calmly say that both of you are going to leave now. Be aware of the effects of your body language and tone. Be prepared to make an excuse to leave the call quickly. You can say you've received a message from your project leader and need to leave the session. All incidents must be reported to your project leader. If the situation does become increasingly threatening or violent, call 999 immediately. Remember, your safety is always our priority. You will never be in the wrong for taking yourself out of a situation in which you feel uncomfortable. And now we will introduce you to some of the ebook resources that we use for reading sessions. Ebooks are digital books that have been adapted for access online. We use a variety of platforms, which ensures a diverse range of genres and titles for all ages. Ebooks are used in most reading sessions, but some children might prefer to read their own physical book. When a child is reading their own physical book, you can find the ebook version to read along too. There are also some great fun tools, such as hovering over new words for definitions, sound effects, and moving images on the ebook platforms and Zoom with the reactions that we've shown previously to make the sessions more interactive when using ebooks. On the volunteers area, we've put together a list of ebook resources and login details alongside further resources for you to access as volunteers. You will receive this when you are ready to start volunteering. We will provide ongoing support as you progress as a volunteer to help make sure that you can always find good books and share them confidently. We are now going to describe some of the main places that you'll be able to find ebooks. Your project leader will keep you updated with the latest resources to try once you are ready for your first session. We will be sending you login details for Doorstep Library's ebook accounts after your training. Please do not share these details with the families. Not all the ebook platforms are exclusively children's book sites. Please always review your reading material in advance and check with your project leader if you have any questions. One excellent resource is a website called Epic, a website dedicated entirely to children's books. Our subscription to Epic provides you with access to a wide range of high-quality children's ebooks, and you can search the Epic library by age and by topic. You'll see here that there is a wide range of books available. So we have the Continue Reading section, which will have previously read books that you've been using. Then we've got topics for picture books here, so you could go for outer space. And then these are available to be filtered by age as well. So if you wanted to read a book recommended for age 6, you'll find a variety of suitable titles here. You can also search books from reading levels, formats, languages, fiction and non-fiction. Another resource is Script, through which you can access a wide variety of ebooks. There is a comics and graphic novel section, but not all titles here are age appropriate. Please always review your reading material in advance and check with your project leader if you have any questions. So here's Script, and you can go through to see the topics they have available. Remember that this is not a child's only platform, so make sure that you are finding titles appropriate for the children that you're reading with. So here you can go through categories and see the range of texts that they have available. For instance, if we go down here, we can find books on ancient history. And here are some kind of non-fiction titles which children might be interested in reading. So you can see here we've got one on ancient Rome. And you can scroll through these to find suitable titles. We also have a Doorstep Library Kindle Unlimited account, which gives you access to a variety of ebooks for you to share with children during your online sessions. Like Scribd, Kindle Unlimited is not exclusively a children's site, so please be aware that you need to be very careful to stay within the children's section. Not all of the sites we've covered allows you to search titles by age range. To help with this, you can use the website Books for Topics. Their browse by age function is especially useful for getting age-appropriate ideas. However, this site doesn't offer the books themselves. After you've got your ideas, you'll need to then find titles that you'd like to share in one of the other resources we've discussed today. It's a great starting point, though, when you're looking for inspiration. And here is Books for Topics. So you can see here that we have them by topics. So history, science and STEM, literacy, arts and sports. And you can also search by age. So Book List by age has it by key stage for the schools, early years, and also ages along the side here. So if we look at age 8 books, for instance, you can see recommended reading for 8-year-olds. So we've got suggestions of titles which are popular, such as Tom Gates, The Wild Robot, Charlotte's Web, and also here more specific insights. So fantasy stories for 8-year-olds, and you can find blurbs around here and a little book of the month special featured title as well. So as explained, you can't find the books themselves here, but it can be something that you find inspiration from and then search on Epic or Scribd to see if they have the title available. We'll now look at how to share your screen so that everyone in the reading session can see the books you're sharing. First, you need to have any reading materials for the sessions already loaded either in your browser or any apps that you're using. This is something you need to prepare before a family joins the session. All co-hosts will have the option to share their screen by clicking on the green Share Screen icon pictured here. A reminder to ensure all personal tabs on your device are closed, including the Doorstep Library dashboard. You must only have the ebook resource open to prevent accidentally screen sharing sensitive information which will be in breach of data protection. This is what will appear on most devices when you first click the Share button. Simply choose the page or application that you are sharing with the family. Here we've selected Google Chrome, as that's where the ebook we want to share is all ready to go. Click Share, and what you can see on your screen will be visible to both the family and your volunteer partner. Please let your project leader know if you have difficulty with screen sharing, and they can support you to do this. It is worth practicing screen sharing before your first session to ensure that you're confident with using it. Zoom offers a number of tools that can help make a reading session even more interactive and fun for the children. Once you're screen sharing, this toolbar will appear at the top of your screen. If you click here on Annotate, you'll be given a number of options. Add text, which lets you type text onto the screen. Draw, which lets you draw over the screen. Stamp, which lets you add little stamps like stars and question marks. And Format, which lets you amend the colors and fonts of the other annotation tools. Eraser, click on the eraser to remove one annotation or to clear the whole lot. And Spotlight. The Spotlight in particular is very helpful as you can use this red cursor like a finger in a physical book to help children keep track of where you are in the story when you're reading together. Once you've finished annotating, you just need to click the red X on the far right of the toolbar. Other tools that you can use to make the session a bit more interactive are emojis and backgrounds. You can access these from the toolbar. Note that you won't see this toolbar whilst you're the one screen sharing, so it will need to be used by the other volunteer partner who isn't sharing the screen. Here you'll find reactions, which gives you some reaction emojis like thumbs up and clapping. These are accessible and friendly and could be particularly useful if you're reading with a family where English isn't their first language. To access backgrounds, click the small arrow to the right of the Stop Video button. Choose a virtual background is a fun option to use, particularly for sessions with older children. Here you can see the range of backgrounds available. You must only use the backgrounds available on Zoom and never upload personal photos to use for backgrounds in reading sessions. Remember that you can never take screenshots of the session or record the call under any circumstances during the reading sessions. This is the end of Module 2, and there are 3 more modules to do. Thank you for watching.